Yo guys, I'm back again with another stream of the Outer Worlds Spacer's Choice Edition. बहुत ही छोटा नाम है. Hope you guys doing well. Let's jaunt in here. चल. वाह. क्या आर्ट वर्क था. हाँ भाई क्या करना था मैं. तो मिशन कुछ कर दिया ना कल वो कर रहे थे. कैरेक्टर में क्या स्किल्स है ये. हम्म. पर्क्स में कैडबरी पर्क Let's go. जनरल में अभी क्या है 100 फॉलो हेलन ट्रेल. हाँ वो हेलन का मर्डर हो गया ना इसके बारे में अभी ट्रेल इसका फॉलो करना. इस हाथ थोड़े गर्म कर लो बहुत ही ठंडी भी कम हो गई. स्पेक विद फिनिश. फिनिश के साथ भी बात करनी है. इसमें फॉलो हेलन ट्रेल ट्रे में मेरा आई थिंक यहाँ पे इसके
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
beep beep beep.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Yeah, was the beep beep beep.
Did I hear something? Make?
वाह. क्या बढ़िया है एकदम है. Now that was fun, huh? Beep 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 beep.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Please visit the Purpleberry Nut Hut to purchase an audio tour today.
Timeline discrepancy.
कौन है?
Hey, God! What are you doing?
और
in
टीचर
here?
कार्टर टीचर.
Are you authorized to be in the conservatory? Are you trying to give me a heart attack? Are you my ex-wife? No, she fell off the side of Eridanos under mysterious circumstances 6 years ago. conveniently rendering our marriage contract null. You must be the new, groundskeeper? That can't be it either, seeing how the new one hasn't died yet. Just who are you? Very funny. If you were Edna, you would have stabbed me in the throat halfway through the second word of my first question.
Does he think you look like his ex-wife? Or that you're gonna stab him for no reason? 'Cause one of those is kinda true.
I'm getting old, damn it. And after a while, anything that isn't a plant gets hard to distinguish from anything that is. But no, you don't look like Edna. Though you do smell a bit like her, like blood and starship grease. You must be that freelance inspector. Well, I suppose you can poke around as you like. Bleeding hell. Standing up like this makes a body forget how stiff he gets, bent over plants all day. Oh, seems I'm not as young. I sit inside and I look at plants. Goal is usually to make Rizzo's fruit products hardier and sweeter, but for every success, there are a couple of hundred failures. Example, tried breeding native tripicale with a foreign strain. Would have called it hexticale. In the end, it bred so fast, workers were swallowed up before they could harvest it. That one, I think, can be attributed to the waspitos. Some lament their irritability, but their productivity is unmatched. What's a few dead workers in the architect's designs? You say angry. I say efficient. Not only can our waspitos defend themselves, but Rizzo's investments as well. They come through the orchards only during pollination cycles, as dictated by our hive control operators, which means that visitors usually aren't on the receiving ends of their stingers. Waspitos only pose a danger to enemies of Rizzo's and the occasional clumsy worker. Those risks are well worth it when you consider their value as a self-protecting investment. Besides, they aren't as dangerous as they seem, unless you're caught outside during a pollination cycle. Then you'll probably get stung to death. Even then, the Hive Control Emergency Recall System ensures that only a handful of workers will die in the event of a breach. Rizzo's has just about thought of it all. Indeed, tromped in and out of the conservatory with no heed for anyone else. Good thing none of my charges were damaged. Starlet or not, I would have had a harsh word for her. I heard she pushed her way into a tour of the RR&DD labs not soon after. She's just a serial actress. Yet she acts like she's deserved of the same access as a co-CEO. Well, she's not going anywhere ever again, which is a shame, of course. Taken too soon and all.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Beep, beep, beep.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
सही है भाई इसका beep, beep, beep. मैं वहाँ पे जितना ना जहाँ पे देखो beep, beep, beep. ये तो पूरा हो गया खत्म
Did I hear something? Just wanted to make you smile.
पागल है भाई ये enemies भी अरे बेचारे मर गई। वो कुछ फूंकते ना वो एसिड वाला, इसकी वजह से मर जाते हैं। इसको रिवाइव नहीं कर सकते ऐसे कुछ होता है। वाह मिल गया है इसमें से एमो। किसी ने तो एमो इसका गिराया था।
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
अरे ये जिंदा हो गई। She is alive. Okay. Just a moment, guys. Yeah, back guys. हाँ कल भी देखना था। हाँ इस जगह पे।
Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen.
भी ओके बी बोले जा भी।
Timeline discrepancy
beep.
detected nearby.
ए ये कौन बैठा हुआ है? ओ भाई गोरिल्ला।
Here we go.
ओ गोरिल्ला। मेरी माँ का गोरिल्ला मार। साला 250 किलो के हाथ लेके आ रहे। पता नहीं ये कौन ही है सांप जैसे ही। जहर कौन छोड़ता है भाई? पूरी बॉडी ऐसे होने लगती है। पत्थर उठा के मार रहे। अच्छा ये सांप जैसे आस्तीन के सांप। अरे इसके भी बुलेट खत्म हो गए। एक मिनट तीसरे में नहीं। अच्छा तीसरे में ये ओए फटाफट एकदम एमो खत्म हो गया भाई। पता भी नहीं चल।
Get it up! Get it up!
I just wanted to make you smile.
भाई एमो तो खत्म ही हो गया भाई। ओ गोरिल्ले का पास से ये कौन है? अच्छा ये अपना है, मतलब ये अपने से
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
पे अटैक नहीं कर रहे सब। इंडिया कौन अटैक करे कौन? एनर्जी सेल्स ये है। इसका एमो शायद कहीं से बाई करना पड़ेगा। ये क्या अंदर है? अच्छा चलो इस एमो तो मिल गया।
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
सब कुछ उठा लो इसकी यानी ये गोला भी निकल सकते हो वो भी निकल के भेज दे कुछ भी छूटना नहीं चाहिए
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
हाँ तो इसको टाइमलाइन का डिटेक्टिव इनको मारने में बेकार में टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करना डेस्टिनेशन वहाँ पे बता दिए चलते हमारा काम हो गया पता नहीं क्या वहाँ पे शायद रिपोर्ट करना हो सब बताना अरे एमो तो धड़ पता ही नहीं चलो कब खत्म हो गया गोरिल्ला कुछ ज्यादा ही डैमेज लेते हैं
Just once I'd like to investigate a situation without having to trod.
Hello? I can hear you out there. If you still possess the majority of your mental capacity, how in the aether did you get in here?
Dr. Blossom.
You're not a Rizzo's authorized. Oh, void it all. What does it even matter now? What do you want? Speak up and pardon the blue blazes out of me. But who in the name of the Eternal are you?
बोले जा रही
I'll
बोले
have
जा
you
रही
know, I am Dr. Leora Blossom, the head of research and development. And you are standing in my lab, uninvited.
वाह
Now, perhaps you couldn't tell by the empty lobby and general state of disarray. No, you're right. Listen, I'll be direct with you. You see, I've found myself in a bit of a pickle. Some of my lab techs have turned rather aggressive following a recent experiment gone awry. Hence why I've barricaded myself in the lab. Excellent. You have my gratitude, and soon you'll have my knowledge of Miss Bellamy's recent visit as well. Now, if you'd rather not kill my lab techs during this cleanup, I believe you can dispense a sedative gas from a terminal in the utility room.
Better than cold-blooded murder.
The door to the lower labs is sealed for our safety, so you'll need to take the elevator down. I'll unseal the access hallway for you now. Do take care.
क्या करना है ये तो सिर्फ
Another corporate lab, another dead lab coat.
इनको क्या होगा सर दे तो सो जाओ ना गोली लेके तो नाटक क्या कर रहे हो सर जो तेरा चिकराए या दिल डूबा जाए क्या प्यारे पास मालिश तेल मालिश
Look at all that Rizzo's.
Handsome, yes, I'm handsome. Thank you. अरे इसकी गाड़ी ठोकता है ना लाइक ठोकता है
Happy workers make for happy customers.
तो मेरे वो हाथ दोनों कहाँ गए नल्ले इसको मार के अरे तेरी माँ का मर गया मेरा ध्यान ही नहीं है एचपी के ऊपर ये भोंसड़ी की वजह से तो गन निकाल के मारते रहते देखिए नहीं मार रहे
Feels good. Feels fine. Oh, yeah. That's fun. I just wanted to make you smile. No one bring me down. I just want to be your friend. I never felt so
ज़्यादा ही डैमेज इनको जनरल
The random explosive canisters everywhere. I don't want to call this cozy.
Look at all that Rizzo's. It's like something out of my nightmares.
ऐसे देख रहा हूँ आसपास कुछ काम का वीडियो कलेक्ट कर लेते हैं यार कुछ ऐसे बुलेट्स का लो जाओ बुलेट्स मिशन हो गया लेवल अप लेस
Unauthorized access to confidential Windows information is a capital offense.
वो लिफ्ट कहाँ गई लिफ्ट से थोड़ी सी तो लिफ्ट कराते ओह क्या है सामान ही सामान मैं सामान लेके आओ ये इसको फिर हम मरते हुए काम पर कहाँ से है हाँ ये रहा आई थे
Just who in the... Oh my law. It's you. Wait. What do you think you are?
The hell was that?
अभी तो ये ओपन था ना चलो बंद कैसे हो गया चार्जर पे ओपन एक मिनट यहाँ पे कुछ तो कांड होते हैं मार दिए कुत्ते के मुंह तुम्हारा
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
बीप बीप बीप
Confirmation of discrepancy confirmed. This person
Anyone else think there should be more bullet holes here?
What do you think happened?
That depends. I've seen folks drop dead from a tiny mandapillar bite. The bullets could have had a similar kind of venom.
ओके हो गया नहीं गाइस तो ठीक है
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
हट गई
Timeline discrepancy detected. The organic matter that comprises this lab worker died at a similar time and of similar circumstance as the other corpses already scanned.
It's not gonna... Oh, whoops. There it is. Okay. This is... Phew. This is Dr. Blossom. Eridanium gigaseous slug research report 1. Subject, a bunch of slugs. Ugh. These things may well be Rizzo's ticket to the top of the board. But at the end of the day, they still look like my brother would if...
We gotta hunt this killer down, boss. They're not gonna stop until we do.
But at the end of the day, they still look like my brother would if he ever stopped wearing that damn toupee. Initially found these little bastards suckling on the hairy undersides of a teacup canid. Much like my brother, who works for the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve. The backstabber. Suffice it to say that these things are parasites. The canid didn't seem to mind, but it's almost as stupid as my research staff. Good stuff. Oh, whoops. Got some spectrum on the dissection subject. It's fine. Yeah, I think I see a couple stacks in the worm. Might secrete enzymes or poison or something.
कहीं जो
We'll figure it out later.
24,000 हो गई भाई इतना
Starting
सारा
to
सामान
see
बेच
doubles,
दिया
so I'm going to switch to working on the gas
काफी
light.
सामान बेच दिया यार
Almost got the spectrum lock
कहीं
done.
डबल डबल हो गई इनको भाई जो लेवल 5 का क्या करना है कम लेवल ओ लेवल 35 इसे 21 12 लेवल कम कर इसको भी निकाल 14 लेवल के भी नीचे 15 के नीचे उड़ा ठीक है 15 हाँ इस पर काफी सारा repeated guns so light is purple plasma carbon इसको भी निकाल दे दिख तो नहीं रहा अच्छा इसे प्लाज्मा कार्बाइन इसी का एमओ वो खत्म हो गया जितना है इसमें लिमिटेड होता है सब मिशन समझ गए तो बाहर जाने को अंदर अभी भी कुछ ही बता रहा है क्या है इसमें?
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Body heat readings indicate that the culprit.
चलो तो अभी यहाँ का अंदर का एनालाइज हो गया, अभी बाहर चलते हैं। गेम बढ़िया है यार, ऐसे बोरिंग ऐसा नहीं लग रहा है, कुछ ना कुछ आके जाके मिशन आ रहे हैं, क्यूरियोसिटी बढ़ रही है, मजा आ रहा है। काफी ऐसी कम गेम्स है जो मेरे को ऐसे मजा आया। एविल भी दिन अच्छा था, ये गोस्ट वायर टोक्यो में मजा आ गया। ये इसकी माँ का है क्या है? मधुमक्खी है ये तो मान एमओ इसने करना पड़ेगा, इनको अवॉइड करो। चुमकी है ये दोनों, अवॉइड करो ना, दौड़ के आ जाओ। हाँ वो फाइट ले रहे मधुमक्खियों से, उनको फ्लेम थ्रोवर से मार सकते हैं। ये क्या है? अच्छा ये इसके अंदर जा सकते हैं। अरे इन्वेंटरी में से फ्लेम थ्रो निकल निकल निकल। नहीं यार, मैंने शायद फ्लेम थ्रोवर बेच दिया। नहीं नहीं है, पड़ा है पड़ा है पड़ा है। फ्लेम थ्रोवर इनका तो बुलेट लगाने का मतलब तो चला के मारना पड़ेगा। कोई नहीं, मैं तो मिशन करना है डायरेक्ट वो करके निकलते। अरे यार एक कॉम्बैट में तो यूज भी नहीं कर सकते। ये दोनों ज़ॉम्बी वहाँ पे फाइट ले रहे हैं, यहाँ पे जरूरत है वहाँ पे नहीं है। हेल्थ का मार नहीं दिया मेरा। ये दोनों अपने काम वहाँ चुका रहे थे भाई, जहाँ पे जरूरत है वहाँ पे आने, वहाँ पे बैठ ले रहे। अटक बढ़िया लगा। इसमें
Releasing the mosquitoes for pollination. Cycle is now in progress.
About to go find out, huh?
फॉलो करो बिना बकचोदी के। मरवा दिया मेरे को वहाँ पे आराम से, तो कुछ काम के ऐसा नहीं, जब जरूरत होती है तब काम नहीं आता। ट्राई करता है ना बिना मारे। हाँ वरना वापस फाइट लूँगा तो कर नहीं पाऊँगा। अरे यार कॉम्बैट देख लिया।
Mosquito stings have been known to cause auditory confusion before death. So if you cannot understand this message, that may be why.
आई थिंक खत्म हो गया।
Timeline is set.
होगी अभी भी नहीं। और करना है इसमें क्या? ओके ओके हो गया। अरे यार मैं भी चले ये ऐसे टर्मिनल में ये इसके पीछे दिखा रहा है 675 मीटर, तो मुझे लगा अभी भी टर्मिनल में ये दिखा रहा है, पर ये इसके पीछे है ये वो जाने में। अभी सोचो ये ऐसा खतरनाक डिश अब तक कोई आया तो नहीं है इसमें। ये मैंने नोटिस किया अब तक खेला, बट कोई ऐसा ग्लिच नहीं है इसमें। कोई ऐसा सिंपल सा भी नहीं है। तो का निकाल इसके बदले ये क्या है? ये हेवी गन द गुड वॉट स्पेशल चॉइस। अच्छा ये कुछ स्पेशल एडिशन होता है। सब फाइट नहीं एक मिनट वहाँ पे फेस्टिवल ही करते हैं। Near hostels. अच्छा
Unexpected noise. I'm just searching for unauthorized person.
अरे मत फाइट लो उनसे, चोंटियो कर में तेरे पीछे पड़ गए। भागना था यार बेकार में, ये मोर टाइम दोनों वेस्ट हो रहा है। बेकार में इनको मारने लगा। ये देखो अभी ये भी एमओ भी खत्म हो गया। एक तो इसको मारने में था, ये झाटू हुए नहीं ये दोनों। मैं तो भाग रहा हूँ पड़े मुझे एक कार में एमओ मेरा वेस्ट करवा दिया। एक गांडू हुए दोनों। मैंने बोला था उनको ये फाइट लेने, एक कार में ये अभी भी पीछे पड़े। बिना बात के क्या उंगली करना है जब ये साइड में से रास्ता निकल रहा है भाई, क्यों बेकार हो। जब तक अपना काम निकल रहा जा रहा है क्यों किसी को उंगली कर।
The brochure never meant.
यहाँ पे वेंडिंग मशीन नहीं है ना, कोई कुछ एमओ वगैरह खरीदा चाहिए। होटल वगैरह में तो नहीं होगा कहीं, खत्म नहीं था अब तक तो। ये रहे यहीं पे अच्छा मैक्सिमम 50 तक ही ले सकते हैं। इसमें भी बड़ा होगा ना ये रहा चलो अभी आर्मर में पहन लेता हूँ अच्छा लेवल 1 का है मुझे फिर तो वो डैमेज होगा ही ना मैंने वो चेंज ही नहीं किया वो क्या है क्यों किया वो तो फिर भी मैक्सिमम है ओह अच्छा आर्मर में पहनो तो उसका स्किन भी दिखता है सही है नंगा पंगा बिना आर्मर के अच्छा ये हेलमेट है ये भी पहन सकते हैं सही अभी के लिए 35 सही है ओके ये सही है क्या क्या था अच्छा ये कहाँ करते ये पहनते हैं हेलमेट का कौन सा 31 का एक 15 है 51 सबसे हाँ ये पूरा ये पहनते हैं ओके इसको तो इनको सेल कर देते हैं बाकी के जो कचरा बचा है कुछ काम करेंगे ये 31 का क्या होता इसको रखते हैं पहले क्यों नहीं दिखा रहा इसको बट ये ही रखते हैं अभी मजा आएगा अभी कुछ डिफेंस होगा ना चलो सब कुछ फुल हो गया सही है करते हुए मिशन की ओर
What floor would you like to visit? What floor would you like to visit? Next stop, the fight.
Oh yeah, it was sexy यार बहुत ही मजा आ गया
I understand there was an incident at the orchards.
मस्त बनाया
Pollination cycle began without my authorization. Fortunately, you managed to save
Glad
most
to
of
be
the
of
hive.
service, of
The
course,
mosquitoes
losing
are
me.
essential to the orchards, you see. Losing them would have... The orchards can be a dangerous place, but my workers understand the hazards. Something about this incident troubles me. The circumstances are suspicious. But let's concentrate on the matter at hand. Have you discovered anything? You have my attention. That's deeply upsetting. Dr. Leora Blossom was an extraordinary scientist and a friend. We have a murderer on the loose, Inspector, as if the death of Halcyon Helen wasn't enough of a blow to our facility. Her commitment to her NDA was admirable. I'll make sure to accelerate the payout of her death benefits to her next of kin. Interesting. The Rizzo's family is a small family, Inspector. Most of us recognize one another. Still, any information is good information. It troubles me to believe Leora could have been murdered by one of our own. If there's anything else you'd like to share, you have my attention. That's troubling, to say the least. Any transfer of proprietary data is strictly prohibited without my permission. Yes, I share your suspicions. Someone didn't want you following their trail. This feels like more than corporate espionage. Someone's playing with us, Inspector. And I have never in my life enjoyed games. Did you discover anything else? Insisted. That's interesting. We'd scheduled a tour of the lab for Helen. Purely a public relations event to be held sometime in the indeterminate future. Then again, Helen and I were not well acquainted. I can't speak to her intentions. A picnic? I don't recall approving a private social gathering at the Orchards. I'll have to make a note of this information. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Was there anything else? This incident at the Orchards must be connected to Helen's murder somehow. I don't know how, but I feel it in my marrow. My apologies, Inspector. This case is under your jurisdiction, not mine. I leave it in your hands. When you're ready, I suggest a word with the hotel coroner. She should have finished her autopsy by now.
Level up, yeah, let's go. Level up तो हाँ.
Hey, Cap. Look,
ये कौन है?
really sensible.
क्या कर रहे हैं?
Whoa!
टमाटर की औलाद.
Gibbering law! Where'd you come from?
वाह.
Sorry.
हमारे रूम में अभी
let me
हमें
just
पूछ
get
रहे
back
where
to
you come from.
character. Whoa, whoa, whoa! It's not what it looks like. Easy, friend. No need to get violent. There are as many reasons to spare my life as there are flavors in Rizzo's Spectrum vodka. I'll give you 2 reasons. First, I am a valuable asset to the Rizzo's Rangers Tossball Enterprise. And secondly, I'm just here doing a job for a VIP. Mascot's honor.
Kind of job, but I don't.
I am acting on behalf of Mr. Black Hole Birdie, the Holmeister, the Hack Attack. I don't have a lot of time, but Mr. Birdie sent me to retrieve a message, something he recorded for Ms. Bellamy while he was off his kilter. It's extremely difficult for me to tell you no. In fact, I'm experiencing enormous mental anguish right now. Will you meet me later, over at the pilot house? I swear, from the bottom of my employment contract, I will tell you everything I know about Ms. Bellamy's demise. I can't. I'm so incredibly sorry, but I can't. Please try and understand. I don't want to end up like Ms. Bellamy. Meet me over by the pilot house. It's the land complex with the big old engine that keeps us flying. I'll tell you everything I know, I swear.
Okay. इसकी फट रही है, कुछ बता देगा तो इसकी जान को खतरा है.
What floor would you like to visit? To the lobby we go.
इस बार ये दोनों आइटम को लेके जाते हैं. I'm a hunter, she wanna see my gun. Let's start to run. डायलॉग डिलीवरी अच्छी होनी चाहिए. पूरी आ गई. ये वाले दिलाते हैं अच्छे गंदे. rifle. देखते हैं क्या यूज करते हैं. चलो कुड़ियो तुम मचाते हो. फर्स्ट नहीं फर्स्ट टाइम जा रहे हैं इसको. Botanical operations discovered. Okay. Very true.
Something's bumming me out.
Unhappiness!
Show you happiness!
Incoming, Captain!
Not gonna let no one bring me down!
इनको कुछ असर ही नहीं. क्या हो रहा है इनको असर ही नहीं.
Never felt so damn good in my life! Real funny! Giving me the trouble you are! I'll show you happiness! I just wanna be
पता नहीं कौन सा ड्रग्स लेके घूम रहे हो. हंसते ही जा रहे नहीं. अच्छी. स्लग ब्रेजर. तो पिज़्ज़ा के लक्ष्मण झूला को. ये स्लो मोशन वाला तो यूज करना भूल ही जाता हूँ.
Oh, look here. I could use a new pair of glasses.
Oh.
Can't imagine where you used to face you.
अच्छा इसके ऊपर पुल पे जाना और एक ब्रिज है. ओके अभी भी सोच रहा था ब्रिज कहाँ से जाना. दिख ही नहीं रहा. जगह बढ़िया है यार. कलरफुल सब कुछ.
You're sure he's not in the museum?
वेंडिंग मशीन से उठा लेते हैं कुछ ना कुछ. ओके मल्टीपल एमओ ऐसे बाय तो कर सकते हैं. अलग अलग मशीन से बाय कर दो. ये भी सही है. सही है। वो भी समझ में आ गई। और कोई है मशीन से यहाँ पर वेंडिंग की, तो उससे भी उठा लेते हैं।
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Timeline discrepancy
अरे ये
detected
तो
nearby.
टमाटर वाला था, ये मर गया।
Discrepancy detected. Rizzo's company policy clearly states that all proprietary mascots must exhibit signs of physical life. This subject's body temperature indicates he expired within the last 2 to 4 hours. Medical
अभी तो
analysis
10 मिला है।
This mascot was likely
चार
killed
घंटे
by
हो
small
गए।
arms fire at close range. The firearm is unique and does not exist in this unit's database. Unusually small entry wounds indicate exotic weaponry. Closest approximations are 1. Incident involving a game of darts. 2. The Needler. Yes, Inspector, the Needler. Bespoke handgun carried and wielded by Halcyon Helen. Famously deployed by Halcyon Helen in Terror on Monarch. This weapon was responsible for executing the Chief of the Savages, played by Spencer Woolridge. This unit is incapable of providing ethical advice. This unit is also incapable of answering rhetorical questions.
तो यूनिफॉर्म जैसा मिला। इसका लेवल इतना नहीं है। ये पेन के देखते हैं, ये कितना 32 लेवल का टमाटर बन के। सही प्रोटेक्शन चाहिए। सब ऐसे रिपेयर होते थे, कहाँ पे ऑप्शन है? अच्छा वेपन पार्ट्स लगते हैं, मुझे लगा वो पैसे लगते हैं। Okay, analyze the.
This empty bottle of spirits does not belong to any known corporate brand. Suspicious residue detected. Substances detected on the surface of this bottle include kindapine sawdust and tobacco residue. Excellent deduction, Inspector. Imbibing of unauthorized beverages is strictly prohibited under Rizzo's company law. Ingredients include antiseptic alcohol, sucrose, and unidentifiable miscellaneous organic material. Closest match. Counterfeit spirits available at the Piraeus spaceport.
हो गया लेवल हो इसको। हमने बुद्धि सुलझा दी। इस जाना है अभी। मास्टरमाइंड है वैसे तो इतना भी नर्ले नहीं है। ये कहाँ जाना है?
Hope you've been enjoying your stay. See, I'm pleased as pie. Did I hear something?
Rizzo's knocking out.
What was that?
Just want to
Tell
be
us
your
the
friend!
gear. Stuff the body.
क्या ही पागल है भाई। मेरे पे कौन थूक रहा है? पता नहीं क्या है, ऐसे चिपका के चले जाते हैं।
Inspector, good to see you. Let me just grant you access and... Welcome to the Piraeus spaceport.
Okay. Skill points available. बड़ा नहीं है। वो डायलॉग्स का पॉइंट बड़ा होगा मेरे साथ। पढ़ने से पहले बंद हो गया।
Hey, you! We've been looking for you, and by we, I mean Slug. Been real busy sniffing around Eridanos for clues, haven't you, Inspector? See, Slug Light Underground don't like that much.
If you had anything to do with Sublight, you'd have started shooting about 12 words ago.
Should have kept your nose where it belonged, Inspector. Slug's sick of all your meddling in their affairs. Our affairs, I mean. We're... Draw, you damn breadworm, draw!
धमकी दे रहे हैं, धमकी दे। सब उसको भी चला के राख कर देते। देखा, हेयर हो गया ना भाई, 2 मिनट भी नहीं लगे। इस बात का कमांड है मुझे तो। शांति से जब तक बात कर रहे तब तक ठीक है। कुछ भी करने का ईगो हट नहीं करना। ओ भाई, अच्छा ये तो ओपन जगह है।
Hey you, I got something.
लगे तो
Hey, I saw your ship. The Unreliable, right? It's a real beauty.
सब अच्छा ये।
What do you want? Shh, not so loud.
टमाटर।
How'd you know it was me? That's what the disguise is for. I'm in no mood to sign autographs, and I hate disappointing fans. So I'm lying low. You know, incompleto. Well, they ain't talking to me, at least. Oh, what's it matter? Helen's gone. She's gone, and nothing I do will bring her back. I've been trying to find who did this. That's what she would do. Track down the killer and bring them to justice. But I'm stumped. And not very clever. Being bright was always Helen's thing. That I can do. What do you want to know? So, how do I help? Oh, the picnic. Right. I get real mad sometimes. Ugly mad. Something I've been working on, but when Helen said we were through, I lost it. No. I got blotto with the other Rangers. You know, soaked, muddled, preserved.
Looter, half shot, void lush, on the Byzantine swizzle, starry. 1 bit down, 3 bits up, spread across the spectrum. Drunk, Captain.
The team noticed I was in a bad way when I got back to the hotel. When I told them Helen and I were Splitsville, they wanted to cheer me up. We were up the pole afore evening. The hotel staff said we was bothering the other guests on account of all the crying and yelling and practice body tackling. Zeke said we should move elsewhere, get some air. We ended up at the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve. I think somebody wanted to pet a woolly cow? There was this one cow off away from the others. Zeke figured it'd be a laugh to get her drunk. One thing led to another, and I think we might have maybe, you know, stolen her. I don't know. We were drunk, and we made bad choices. She was all alone. I know how that feels now. It's so hard to be all by your lonesome. My memory's a little muddled after that. I guess me and the team got split up, because I know I was on my own at the pilot house for a time. I reckon not. See, I went to the weather station. I was looking for where Helen stashed her datapad for safekeeping, right? She'd asked me to get it, mind. I wasn't stealing. I'm no thief. Nah, she sent a note to my hotel room before we, you know, split. I don't know how long it was sitting there before I noticed. Sure did. Only there was a guard out there who found me. She started yelling about how I was trespassing and in serious trouble. Thing is, it was real dark out there. So dark, she couldn't tell who I was. Sticking around trying to explain whose datapad I had and why seemed dumber. Also, I'm not exactly the best talker. Especially when I'm drunk, so I got out of there. Ran like the Rangers were down by 3 and I just bronzed the toss ball in the Friday zone. Yeah, I mean, no. Nope. No one else. I don't. All we did was talk, I swear. It's just... I don't want to tell you. I'll get in trouble.
Good one, Captain. Oh, you're serious? You want me to be the bad inspector? Are you sure? Oh, fine. I'll do my best. Here goes nothing. Look, Mr. Black Hole, sir. If you know anything about Ms. Helen's death, you need to tell us. 'Cause the the inspectors, real determined to hunt the killer down, and you seem like a real kind-hearted man, and I'd hate to see you get caught up in this mess.
I apologize, ma'am, but I'm confused. I thought your boss was the good inspector?
Sorry, I messed up, didn't I?
All right, I get the idea. Jeez. Look, I talked to Auric, okay? Auric West. Hangs out around the spaceport. He's the one who taught me the breathing exercises I use to calm down. Confidant is like confidence. What's torrid mean? Don't get the wrong idea, okay? Oryx's not a bad guy. He's just got an unusual job. So now you have the whole story. After I talked to Oryx, I went back to the hotel. Woke up the next morning with Helen's data pad in my hand and the hangover to end all hangovers. Don't know if I'll ever drink again.
Sure. Get yourself a bit of taro blood, whisk it in a bowl with an egg and crushed caffeinoid, hold your nose and drink it straight. And the next time you drink, avoid the darker stuff.
I'll, have to think about that one, ma'am. Anyway, you ought to take Helen's datapad. Maybe you'll have better luck understanding her notes. Either she was writing in code or I'm dumber than a bag of hammers. I tried for hours to crack her notes, but it's like I said. Being bright was Helen's thing. I know that. But you gotta believe me. I would never hurt Helen, no matter how drunk I was. You could preserve me in Spectrum Brown and I wouldn't even look at her funny. I want to help you find her killer, Inspector. I knew Helen better than anybody. And it could be handy to have a guy like me around, in case anybody gives you trouble. I'm not threatening nobody. Gee, I'd try to help someone out. I'll head back to the Grand Colonial then. Unless you need me for anything else. What do you want to know? What about her? Look, you and me, we both know I'm a big, dumb tossball star, right? That's what I'm good at. Rizzo's knows it. The fans know it. Helen, she saw me as more than that. She saw someone who had more to offer than big muscles and a signature black hole stomp. Being with Helen was magic. She was magic. There ain't good enough words for something as special as what we had together. Rival actresses, maybe? I don't know too much about the motion picture industry. Except for Helen's pictures. I wish I knew. Must have been something I did. At the picnic, Helen just kept saying she didn't want to drag me into her world. Maybe one of the higher-ups in motion pictures was giving her trouble over us? I don't know. I tried to understand, but I don't. What do you want to know? Yeah? Oryx hangs around the spaceport most days. Yeah. Oryx's a businessman. He sells stuff you can't get elsewhere. You know, alternative stuff. We're talking sort of science, crockery, whole supplements. Maybe putting effort accelerators in your body isn't always the right call, you know? Maybe there are other options. Maybe I don't take all the accelerators Rizzo's pushes on me. That sounds like a good idea. Yeah? What do you want to know? I remember sending her the recording, but law, I was halfway to preserved by then. I don't know what was on it. When I realized what I'd done, I panicked. If I'd said something dumb, folks might think I was involved in her death. I was scared of looking suspicious. I wish that were the dumbest thing I ever... Tossball was, is, and always will be the greatest game in the universe. And I would give it up in a heartbeat to have Helen back.
Okay, काफी पूछता था कि इससे यहाँ पे क्या है?
Buy a bunk, huh? I think I'll stick to my cabin.
Hey, pal. Over here. Hey there. You looking to
ये देखिए
unwind,
जोकर के
friend?
जैसे इसने वो
Maybe
स्कार
on the
लगा
way to
रखा
the bar for a good time.
Maybe you're interested in something a little better than beer or adreno? Something... The name's Auric. I deal in, shall we say, holistic pharmaceuticals, natural substances and the like. You know, alternative stuff. I know. Ooh, it came out of the ground. That's where worms live. I get it. I do. Why go for that homegrown shit when you could be pumping your body full of effort accelerators? Says it right on the Anti-Cleo's box. Better than nature, right? Well, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret, pal. Those pharmaceuticals the corporations manufacture, not all of them are as good for you as the board wants you to believe. Alternatives. That's the way to go, pal. Trust me. No matter what... Wait. You ain't a sheriff, right? You gotta tell me if you're... 'Cause you talk like one. I'd like to ask you some questions. No one says that outside of the serials. All right, fine. Yeah, I know, Birdie. So what? You may or may not buy alternatives from me from time to time. A little diluted mantis or essence here, a little vitamin B negative there. Nah. What Birdie's got is a stress problem. He's stressed out of his mind, the poor guy. Everyone knows his name. Can't turn around without having to sign an autograph. Then you throw in playing tossed ball for a living. Violence like that, it does things to a body. Come on. Birdie's a damn good hacker, but taking that many blows to the noggin would scramble anyone's upstairs business. I know it's knocked a few of his memories loose. I worry about him, that's all. He's a good... Yeah, that was me. Birdie's got a temper, but he's not a bad kid, you know? He's trying to work on it. Yeah. Damn shame about that. Birdie thought the world of Helen, you know. He showed up drunk at my place wanting to talk about the breakup. Helen dumped him, he said. Boy, was he in a bad way. I'd never seen him like that before. We talked for a while, and when he felt better, I sent him back to the hotel. Told him to drink more water and get some sleep.
सभी information मिली इससे बात बस खत्म हो गया कोई नहीं है यहाँ पे बस ट्रैवल करते टाइम वेस्ट करते इसको भी सब बताना पड़ेगा
Inspector, I'm pleased to hear that. Bertie Holcomb is a valuable asset to the Rizzo's Rangers property. When Helen was murdered, Bertie was nowhere to be found. The timing of his disappearance is unfortunate. That's ominous. Ah, Bertie Holcomb. How have you gone and complicated my life this time? I do wish Bertie wouldn't take refuge in the glass bottle every time something goes wrong in his life. If Bertie was drunk on the night of Helen's murder, then you're right. He has no alibi. Be plain with me, Inspector. Do you believe Black Hole Bertie killed Helen? Not what I wanted to hear, but I understand. Bertie is a valuable asset to the Rizzo's brand, but if he's behind Helen's murder, I won't protect him. I'd like you to continue your investigation. Notify me as soon as you're ready to make a formal accusation. I appreciate that. I'd rather keep Bertie within the public eye than let him languish in a bar at the docks. If you're through investigating Bertie, I recommend looking into Cedric Kincannon. He's been entirely too comfortable since we began this investigation. I don't trust Cedric when he's comfortable.
डेवलप तो है Listen. Cedric. Slam and shine. Dad to twist. Request भी डेटिंग वाली है अभी. Request को क्या खाते हैं क्या?
You got an appointment?
I guess.
You're not allowed.
I can't shake the feeling they had something to do with Miss Helen's death.
I'm torn. I despise rudeness toward Eileen, who is entirely invaluable to Slug, and yet I do enjoy this bold, dare I say brash, approach you're taking. Now then, here for my alibi, I assume.
Another murder? Drunk Raptidons? Black Hole Birdie practicing his hacking in the middle of the street? Stop me if it's one of those, or I'll just keep guessing.
Yeah, I didn't understand. ये क्या है दोनों में?
There was an incident. You should have seen Eileen. Besides being an absolute gem of an assistant, she's a terror with a fountain pen. Raptidons aside, what was your incident? Sounds as though you've already sorted it out yourself. Perhaps you haven't sorted out as much as I'd thought. In short, Slug has not sent anyone to rough you up, Inspector. That would be acting against our own self-interest. Now ask yourself this. Why would anyone give thugs Slug gear and send them after you? Right again, Inspector. But I can't fathom who would benefit from tarnishing my reputation like that. Can you? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insult your intelligence. I'm used to working with Lou, you see? I hope you won't hold it against me.
So, as you've deduced, I did not send anyone from Slug after you, nor is it likely they assigned themselves that task. Still, I am sorry for the trouble, Inspector.
Well, that's settled. I assume you'll want to know where I was the night of Helen's murder.
Let's see. That night, I was... torturing Elliot Nasser for information on missing cargo. That was a messy one. Didn't break until nearly noon the next day. Can you imagine? An excellent question. I had his body dropped off the edge of the land complex. I'm not sure what happened to it from there, scientifically speaking. Maybe it dissolved? Ultimately, though, it doesn't matter. You'd be a fool to believe me, regardless of what I told you. People lie, and I am, incriminatingly, people. It's as I said. You shouldn't. If it helps, however, you might consider pursuing not my means, but my motive. Why in the name of the architect would I kill Halcyon Helen? She was making me a fortune. I'm considering a line of commemorative merchandise. Still, that's nothing compared to what Helen would have made us in the long run. I'd offer to assist you in your work, but I've a mystery of my own to solve, I'm afraid. Oh, Elliot stole from me, all right. Alas, you're right in that his was a singular isolated incident, and as such, does not resolve a concerning broader trend. Items are disappearing from Slug's storage and processing warehouse. The thefts began a week before Helen's unfortunate death, and there have been more instances since. Before you ask, I know the difference between cargo going missing and cargo going missing. This is the latter.
Nothing unsavory, and nothing Ludovico shouldn't know about, if that's your concern. I'm quite serious when I say Slug is a legitimate business. As to the specifics, I'm not sure. The warehouse foreman should be able to tell you. Before you ask, I know the difference between cargo going missing and cargo going missing. This is the latter. I'm not sure. I'm only confident there is one. That the thefts began mere days before Helen's untimely demise is an extraordinary coincidence. I'm not a man who believes in happenstance, Inspector. I do not trust it. Do tell Ludovico when you get a chance, please. It's astonishing how long it's taking him to have that same epiphany. Regardless, this will be fun. You out in the field, chasing down leads. Me, scheming in my office, preparing to unspeakably mangle the perpetrator. Oh, I never subcontract out that type of work, Inspector. You'll want to speak with Ella Tinsley, the warehouse foreman. I've cleared her as a suspect myself, but should she refuse to cooperate, shoot her. No, I'm joking. If she won't cooperate, tell me and I will shoot her. And do feel free to search my office for clues while you're here. Don't hold back on my account. Was there something else you wanted to discuss? The original incident? Well, I made him an offer he should have refused. An excellent deduction, Inspector. Our combative relationship stems from paperwork, mundanely enough. Rizzo's contracted Sublight to construct the Eridanos atmospheric complex. Had Lou wanted Rizzo's to retain full control of Eridanos, he shouldn't have skimmed the revised contract I sent him. Lou's an administrator, for law's sake. I thought he would adore all the fine print I added. Still technically visible to the human eye, but only just. You're quite good at this. It was all perfectly legal, too, which irked Lou to no end. My power grab, as Lou called it, planted the seed of hatred, and Lou, obsessed with what should have been, has made sure to water it daily with his bitterness and anger. Alas, I can't. I am, first and foremost, the head of Slug, and it simply wouldn't be good for business. Slug's control of Eridanos is a crucial step in my long-term plans for Sublight. The board needs to see irrefutable proof we are a respectable, legitimate business. Because one day soon, Sublight will obtain a seat on it. Meanwhile, our dear administrator is still laser-focused on old slights, which can be a nuisance. He's grown increasingly desperate to catch Slug with our hand in the proverbial cookie jar as of late, convinced we're involved in less than legal business opportunities. Continue investigating, Inspector. Very well. A few. Helen was strangely curious about the private business operations around Eridanos. She said it was role research, but how much business know-how does one actor truly need for an action picture? I also arranged to have Helen supplied with mag picks, bypass shunts, and other hacking tools. She wanted to buy in bulk. That she bought in bulk? Not particularly. It takes time to learn to use tools like that deftly. I wonder, did she run out of time in the end? I might. I just might. Your point, Inspector? Yes, I suppose you have. Be very careful, Inspector. I'd very much like to see you still around for the grand finale, whenever it comes, whatever shape it takes. That is the question, isn't it, Inspector? Tell me, do you really believe Helen's death was a mere crime of passion? Or one of petty career jealousy? Good. That's good, Inspector. Because whoever did kill Helen is not going to come forward so easily. A few. Helen was strange. She said it. I also arranged to have Helen supplied with... Because she paid me to, Inspector. Besides, Helen was enjoyable company. She was confident, resourceful, determined. Not unlike you, now that I consider it. That is the question. Tell me. A smart approach, Inspector. And yet, this murder is bigger than Miss Helen's personal life. Bigger than her latest moving picture. Her actions in the time leading up to her death do not align with those of an actor on Eridanos solely to promote Spectrum Brown. Stay sharp, Inspector. Now is not the time to lose focus. Because whoever did kill Helen is not going to come forward so easily. I might. Your point, Inspector? Am I an official suspect, then? Intriguing. I'll look forward to how it all plays out. Be very careful, Inspector. I'd very much like to see you... I might. Your point, Inspector? Understood. I hope your suspicions prove useful in uncovering the truth. Be very careful, Inspector. Tell me. This murder is bigger than... Indeed. I suspect Helen arrived on Eridanos with grander plans than promoting Spectrum Brown. I knew I was right about you being clever, Inspector. I'm glad. Because whoever did kill Helen is not going to come forward so easily. A few, she said. I also arranged to have Helen supplied with magpick. I wonder, did she run? Tell me. Do you... Good. Because whoever did kill Helen... I might. Your point, Inspector? Now that is interesting. I suppose we'll see, won't we? Be very careful, Inspector. One moment, if you please, Inspector. I've answered your questions. I believe it's my turn to ask you a question now. What, or who, made you decide to investigate me? I see. What a shame your hunch didn't pan out. Now then, did you need anything else?
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. This copy of TK contains 142 fewer pages than a standard copy. The missing pages were likely removed to create sufficient space for the hidden listening device inside. Analysis inconclusive. However, there is a minor accumulation of dust particles present on the book's uppermost surface. The area within a 0.5 meter radius of the book possesses a dust coating comprised of at least twice the number of particles. That is highly likely, Inspector. Transmission receiver location unclear. Inspector, please consider speaking into the device. Ominous threat transmitted. Transmission analysis complete. While the precise location of the receiver could not be pinpointed, it has been narrowed down to a smaller, approximate range.
What's that you found? Tell me. Let's save it
This port seems real busy. I wonder if they're trying to compete with the groundbreaker.
Receiver's location पे जाते हैं. तो सस्पेक्ट है उनसे बात की मैंने पहले से बात
Timeline discrepancy
अच्छा ये तो
detected
ये
nearby.
ऑब्जेक्टिव
incident
leva
point
वही
discovered.
person.
The receiver in this book
संडास
matches
में
the
book पड़ी.
transmitter to the listening device found in Cedric's office. It's somewhat grime-covered. Due to the high level of foot traffic in this area, this unit is unable to determine who placed the device. Based on the accumulated mix of sludge and detritus, the receiver has been present since approximately a week before Helen's death.
What the?
Here they come!
अरे restricted area में नहीं है. अरे नहीं fight कर लूँगा. क्या यार restricted area में कब चला गया मेरे को बता दो. अरे यार ये रोबोट कहाँ अपनी माँ में करवाने यार वो क्यों है इतना वो मारने लगी यार मेरी वो लड़की छोटू है अब यार करती है अरे इतनी केयर मत करा करो यार मैं बोलूँ तभी मारो वो मेरी फाड़ के रख देती इतना भी इमोशनल ना बनो लड़कियां पागल है भाई.
Hi there. Sorry, this area is off limits to port vision. Oh, wait half a second. You're the inspector.
Who are you?
Sorry about that. I'll buzz you right in.
मर भी गए स्थिति चलो मस्त एकदम एमओ मिल गया अभी हमें
Spare parts down here? Just wondering.
काफी एमओ हो गया वैसे पता भी नहीं चलेगा कब खत्म हो जाएगा और डैमेज कंज्यूम करते जाने में चलेगा कितने लेवल होते जाएंगे.
You're the inspector, aren't you? Boss Kincannon said you'd be by about the cargo that's been going missing. Gosh, this is so neat. A real-life inspector. What's that like? Have you solved any mysteries yet? Right, of course. Just tell me how I can help. Maybe they're keen on cashing out and want to go as painfully as possible. I don't know. Boss Kincannon's office is where he holds most of his meetings with important folks like Ms. Helen. Just about all negotiations happen in his office too. Vendor pricing, major purchase orders, rentals for construction projects, you name it. Everyone here at Freight Storage and Processing, for a start. Thing is, the cargo is going missing before the shipments even get to the warehouse. Best I can figure, it's probably getting lost in the shipping yard. As for who has access there, Benton Chan, he's the shipping yard manager. He told me it's mainly just the loading automechs that handle cargo. Could be. Those things'll break if you so much as look at them funny. That's Benton's area, but don't bother asking him for help. Last time I asked him to check the automechs, the whole head told me he couldn't help because he was dead. Brain dead, maybe. But no. My point is that if you think the automechs are a lead, you'll have to check on them yourself. Hopefully, you're mechanically inclined. That's the weird part. There's no pattern, far as I can tell. The thefts don't make sense. I ask you, who would steal a handful of Spacer's Choice Sabers, so dull they can barely cut mud, but leave the spectrum black? Ugh. Who'd be desperate enough to want to steal a Spacer's Choice Saber, full stop? Even to an inspector? Gosh, that must make your job awfully tough. Then there's the most recent theft, 5 boxes of pens and a couple of sodas. I can't decide which one's sadder. Wow, I guess you take this stuff pretty personally, being an inspector and all. Maybe they're out of just about all negotiation. Best as for who has... Nah, Benton's too lazy for crime. The extra work would kill him. Last time I asked him to check the automechs, the whole head told me he couldn't help. It won't bother him any if you have a look yourself, though. Hopefully, you're a mechanic. Everyone here. Best I... As for who has... Nah, last time I... Yeah, especially when he kept shouting, "Dead people can't hear anything!" at me. On the bright side, I'm sure the dead won't mind if you decide to check those loading automechs out yourself. Hopefully, you're mechanically inclined. Best I... As for who has access there, that's Benton's area, but don't bother asking him for help. Last time I asked him to check the automechs, the whole head told me he couldn't help because he... It won't... Hopefully, that's... I asked... Ugh. Who'd be desperate enough... Yeah, probably not. No one's dumb enough to think Spacer's Choice Sabers are worth half a damn. Then there's the most recent theft, 5 boxes of pens and a couple of sodas. Well, I'm no That's... Ugh. Who'd be... No one's dumb enough to think Spacer's Choice Sabers are worth half a damn. Then there's the most recent theft, 5 box... I wish they hadn't stolen the blue pen. That's the... Ugh. Who'd be desperate enough to want to... Ugh, nanner spank. Don't spit in my mouth and tell me it's banana flavored. Then there's the most recent theft, 5 boxes... I wish they hadn't stolen the... Ugh. Then there's the most... That's probably not their motive. No. Oh, before I forget, I figured you might want to access my terminal, so I had a spare keycard made. It's all yours. Oh no, I forgot to delete all of those incriminating messages I sent about which cargo to steal.
Hello, keycard मिल गया.
Nah, I do have a list of cargo that's gone missing though, if that helps any.
Eh, Guys, I'm taking a short break. Okay, I'll continue after the break. So stay tuned. So guys, I'm back. गाइस क्या करना था अभी? सब कंप्लीट हो गया। नीचे जाकर मिलना था किसी से। ये सही है नहीं, बीच बीच में एनाटॉमी वाला बताते रहते।
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Inspector, this loading automechanical's programming does not match factory default settings. The standard defensive protocol has been modified to include an additional trigger. For Type K-19 cargo transport automechanicals, defensive protocol is triggered by attempted interference with cargo, or its transportation, or attempted destruction of the unit. Once triggered, defensive protocol targets the perpetrator and applies lethal force until the target has been deceased for a minimum of 3 minutes. There is a directive in place to initiate defensive protocol should an unsanctioned data log installed in this automechanical be removed. Slug automechanical maintenance records indicate this particular unit is frequently reported as out of position or missing for periods of time.
Loading automechanical unit K-14 is fully operational at 99% power. Please designate the cargo to be transported and its destination. How can this automechanical? Certainly. Access panel is now unlocked. Ejecting data log 17C. Alert. Failsafe protocol triggered. Kill mode initiated. Preparing to end user. Understood. This unit is programmed to facilitate user queries. Kill mode pause. User termination to follow. The ejected data log contains instructions to move cargo shipment 6, 8, 7, 5 outside the boundaries of the shipping yard. It also contains instructions to move randomized cargo shipments outside the boundaries of the shipping yard at intervals of 1 to 4 days. Apologies. This unit does not have access to cargo inventory lists. Kill mode re-engaged. Have a nice day.
किल मोड एंगेज कर दिया भाई इसे। ये क्या बॉस है भाई? कुछ मैंने गलत कर दिया। किल मोड कहाँ से एंगेज हो गया? बहुत ज़्यादा डैमेज ले रही है, इसका तो कुछ असर ही नहीं। Pakai slow motion है bro. अरे यार बार बार मर जा रहे. दिमाग का बम पोसड़ा कर रहे. इसे इनको मार. भागना है भागना है भागना है. कि ये कर रहा था वहाँ पे लड़ने लग के. कर मैं फाइट ले ली मैंने. लगा मर जाएगा बट कुछ ज़्यादा ही डैमेज होएगा.
Inspector, to what do I owe the pleasure? Ooh, I love this part. The big reveal. So tell me, what happened? Well, that is disappointing. Still, you said you've determined how the theft is occurring? With the benefit of hindsight, I'd surmise it's not terribly difficult. Hacking the Automex. So that was our skimmer's game. But why? Everything that was stolen has seemed random. I certainly see no pattern. So, our culprit had something specific they wished to acquire and used the random theft as a smokescreen. I must say, Inspector, you've done excellent work on this case. Then that just leaves how the culprit knew where their true target would be, or indeed, that Slug would soon possess it. Okay, that's very impressive. Don't ever touch me again. Am I right to think what you found in my office earlier was the other half of this listening device? She, Inspector, she could hear everything. The bug belongs to me, Inspector. I lent it to Halcyon Helen. Unbelievable. I helped her. Gave her whatever she needed. I thought we were doing each other a good turn. This is a betrayal, Inspector. I do not take betrayal lightly. Helen should consider herself very lucky indeed that she is already among the dead. And that some other bastard beat me to putting her in the ground. Halcyon Helen is already dead. If I'd known Helen was stealing from me, I may very well have killed her, or had her killed. Alas, I did not. Indeed. Incidentally, feel free to stop by after you clear me as a suspect. I won't even say, I told you so. Though I can't vouch for Eileen. I wish you luck with your investigation, though I doubt you'll need it. You'll find Helen's murderer. I'm confident of that. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must find a way to excise my anger that minimally damages my business empire. I expect it will involve shooting quite a lot of guns.
क्या करना है? से बातचीत तो होगी. वाह क्या आर्ट वर्क है. Sexy art of the romance.
Inspector? Closely, I trust. Tell me what you found. That doesn't surprise me. Cedric practically stole his way to Eridanos. He'll do everything in his power to keep you off his trail. With that in mind, do you think Cedric was responsible for Helen's death? Fair enough, Inspector. I won't try to influence your judgment any more than I already have. Unfortunately, even I don't have the authority to detain Cedric. His line of work is dangerous, though. There's always a chance for an accident. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I've already lost Dr. Blossom and Constable Keene, but at least Cedric's alive. The universe is a just place. Are you confident you've finished your investigation? You've questioned all your suspects. Law speed, Inspector.
अबे मैं क्लियर पता नहीं है बेकार में किसी के ऊपर
What floor would you like to the lobby we go?
भाई ये आर्टवर्क सेक्सी है भाई समझे अभी कहाँ जाना है ये नई जगह पे जाना है सब कहाँ पे हेल्प तो बनी बड़ी इस बार में हमें भी ये कुछ मिल जाए इसमें इसमें से कुछ मिला ना रेंज ये सब ब्लर भी हो गया विजन किसी ने कुछ मुंह पे तो वीडियो ब्लर ब्लर है सब इस टाइप के ये परिंदे थे परिंदे कम दरिंदे थे ज़्यादा ये वर्क बेंच ना कुछ एनालाइज कर। ये यहाँ पे है ये बड़े बड़े जानवर। मरविन
This is Silvio Tran, setting a new record for the Grand Colonial Bellhops Laundry Cart League. If you're listening to this, you're listening to history. And Daltrey, as we agreed, when I win, you're scraping terrorist shit off the windows for the rest of your contract. And you can stow the fear of heights routine because there's no way you're weaseling out of that, pal. Here goes. That's... move the box! No, not... No!
We heading inside, Captain? Don't worry. I got your back.
Invincibles. Contains of ice. वो बेचारे को यारों में मार दिया। तो इसके पैर पे पता है। मारा था ना तो पहले एक को मारो ना तुम लोग साथ सबको मारते हो पहले एक को खत्म करो पार्वती तो मार नहीं पार्वती जिंदा है या मर गई थी? जिंदा तो है ये रे। अपने आप रिवाइव हो जाती है, पता नहीं क्यों। यार बहुत बेसिक्स तो जबरदस्त बनाए भाई इसमें, जिसने भी बनाया
Everybody acting so strange.
भाई क्या ये सब नहीं। फिर भी तंबू बना के बैठो। Ooh. Very good, right? सब ये यहाँ पे आलू सेक रहे हैं।
Timeline discrepancy.
Fruitful and
इसकी माँ का ये
productive
क्या
welcome,
चीज़ है?
brother. I had a feeling you would
Profitability.
visit me.
क्या
I
मेकअप
offer
रखा
a
है
wide
काजू
variety
कतली के
of
जैसा पूरा
productivity seminars.
चमक रही
I
है।
hope you'll consider taking one. But I should remember my manners. To what do I owe the pleasure of the Special Inspector's arrival? My disciples come to and from the Grand Colonial, bringing supplies and information. Knowing what happens at the hotel affects my livelihood, after all. With that said, I'd love to involve you in one of my productivity seminars. We should clear you of all those nasty, nasty humors hampering your potential. We offer a wide variety of seminars for all your corporate needs. Employees not working hard enough? Employees dying too often? It's most likely your managerial humors. And of course, seminars for balancing the energies of your business offices. Interior decorating is much more important for success than many would believe. If any of this sounds at all interesting to you, might I interest you in the first 82 words of our most popular seminar's introduction? Free of charge. Byzantines live lives fraught with competition, and that competition can be immensely stressful. You must, first of all, find a way to balance your thinking. Think not of bits lost, but of those you have yet to gain. After all, peace leads to productivity, and productivity leads to profit. Though thought alone won't balance you. We have a strict regimen to promote humor clearing. Session attendees stand on burning coals, sit for hours in our productivity smokehouse, and of course, fast throughout. Precisely. The barriers within yourself will break down as your skin sweats and blisters, giving the evil humors the proper space to escape. It's my patented method. Yes, that's correct. She made it clear that my seminars were of no interest to her. Your tone of voice seems to suggest that you have information already, which also suggests you've read my terminal.
Whatever the case, I didn't care to mention Helen's change in decision because she never showed up. I don't see how it matters. Oh? I'm surprised. I wouldn't think the two of us would have much to discuss about her. We may have had some terse interactions before her death, which I most certainly regret. But beyond those, well, never mind. What would you care to know? I did not. She had no interest in my seminars, and I had no interest in attempting to convert a stubborn actress. Why would I have had any cause to engage with her further? Humors? I know all about humors. I needn't be lectured about them by... Forgive me. I take my work very seriously. Whatever the case, I didn't care to mention Helen's change in decision because she never showed up. I don't see how it matters. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say that. The media tends to exaggerate. I will admit that her remarks about my seminars were rather unfortunate. However, I certainly wouldn't sharpen any sabers over it, if that's what you mean to imply. I only do that when my clients skimp on their bills. I wouldn't necessarily say that. However, I did not. Well, I suppose that does complicate things. Whatever the case, I didn't care to mention Helen's change in decision because she never showed up. I don't see how it matters. Yes, I didn't. Your tone of voice seems to suggest that you have information already, which also suggests you read my terminal. Whatever the case, I didn't. Yes. Why, I've been at the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve for quite some time now, as my disciples can attest. In fact, I haven't visited the Colonials since I arrived several weeks ago. Bad energies, you understand. I wouldn't. However, I did not. Well, whatever the case, I did. Welcome. I'm delighted to extend my desire to aid you, brother. Yeah. What would you care to know? I hope you now realize that I had nothing to do with Helen's demise.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Analysis suggests this to be a variety of herbs. Herbs have been uniformly treated with a pungent chemical mix. Warning: ingesting, smoking, or inserting non-corporation sanctioned substances into your ears may be harmful to your health. Prior analysis suggests these herbs reach peak effectiveness when users burn them and inhale the resulting smoke. Whether or not this increased effectiveness is good for an afflicted individual has yet to be determined. Analyzing. Complete. Substance appears to be a mix of industrial solvents and various essential oils. Substances include woolly cow dander remover, sprat oil, and starship surface wax. Hypothesizing potential side effects from herb consumption. Most likely outcome, decapitation. Slight possibility of calculation error.
ये
Hello.
क्या इसमें बालों पे
Welcome
लगे
to the
हैं?
Prophet of Profitability's private prosperity retreat.
आलिया
Stay
मासी
positive, and soon all your humors will be balanced. Least, that's what I keep telling myself. Anyway, I'm Aaliyah Mason. I work as the
आलिया
Prophet's right-hand woman.
तेरी आलिया
What can I do for you?
आलिया तेरी
Of course, I've been studying under her for years. I know each of her techniques more or less by heart, and even have some variations of my own, such as the quintuple daily stomach purges. She's promised me that I'd be allowed to open my own branch of the retreat someday soon. Of course, I've been waiting on someday soon for coming up on 4 years now. I'm sure it's... If you felt imbalanced and unproductive, linger in your malaise no longer. We have all the amenities and practices for calming the ill humors strangling your potential. Sit for hours in our sweat house and sweat them out, or stand amidst burning coals and feel your productive inhibitions burn away. And remember, think positive. Positivity equals productivity equals profitability. Oh, terribly sorry if I gave you that impression. I had a cramp. It's better now. I mean, it might be nice if I had a little inclination of whether the Prophet appreciated all the cooking and cleaning and hours of meditation I do on a daily basis. But whatever she thinks isn't for me to question. I'll do my best to be more chipper. Oh my. Yes, this is important enough for me to delay my bi-hourly self-flagellation. Ask away. Well, by and large, no. But something rather odd did happen regarding the Prophet recently. A few hours after our high-profile visitor arrived a couple of days ago, the Prophet asked me to take over sessions for the remainder of the day. At first, I was excited. Thought it was my chance to show her what I could do in charge. But then I saw that she was deeply worried about something. No one saw her until the next day. Yes, the circumstances there are quite unfortunate. For a time, the Prophet was completely despondent. Even the hot coal walks weren't buoying her spirits as they usually do. However, we recently had a high-profile visitor whose presence seemed to alleviate whatever the Prophet's fears were. I'm actually not entirely certain. It was a surreptitious visit that stood out because it was surreptitious. Whoever it was must have paid the Prophet quite a lot to keep things quiet. At least that's the only reason I can think of for intentionally keeping things so hush-hush. I was here at the retreat in the company of the other disciples and clients. I rarely have more than a few minutes of alone time. Which is fine, of course. I do what I do in the service of the Prophet, who will, I'm sure, reward me for my sacrifice. Eventually. Well, by and large, no. A few hours after our At first, I was excited. Yeah. However, we recently had a high... Oh, you must have misheard me. I said high profile, not had profile. Mr. Woolrich comes by much too often to be worth mentioning. Yeah. However, we tend to treat all guests... Yes. However, at least that's the only reason... Well, a few... At first, I was excited. Well, a few... At first, I was... Which is fine, of course. Certainly. Actually, before you go, I want to report something suspicious. I noticed the Prophet dragging something, a bundle, away from the retreat after that high-profile guest arrived. Normally, I'm the one who does her laundry, so it was strange. Especially because whatever she was dragging seemed oddly human-shaped.
Human-shaped? Oh.
I could have, but I generally don't have the time or energy to leave the reserve to contact anyone. Plus, there's always the possibility that I'm mistaken. The Prophet hasn't been herself lately, but if I misinterpreted the situation and reported her improperly, I'd ruin my chances for opening my own wing of the retreat. I think so. Had the right size and shape. I think I could have. The Prophet hasn't been herself lately, but...
क्या करना? ओके वैसे इनसे पूछताछ कर रही थी अभी पहुंचे
Timeline
Analyze
discrepancy detected. Identifying human footprints leading out into the wilderness. It is unusual for productivity disciples to wander more than a few feet from the camp. Scanning. No. No traces of aether dust, blood, or dimethyl sulfoxide found.
ये
Judging by
समझ
footprint depression
इसका
and
फुटप्रिंट
shoe
ऐसा
size,
कैसे है
these prints were either made by the
इस
prophet
गेम
of profitability or adjutant Sophia Akande. Error. Recalibrating.
ये
These
थोड़ा
footprints
लोचे
were
जैसे
made by the
फुटप्रिंट
prophet
ऐसे
of
ऊपर नीचे ऐसे
profitability.
होता है ना इसमें ये देखो ये एक साथ ऐसे थोड़ी ना होता ये चलो चलो तो ये वाला नहीं होना चाहिए के बाद ये होना चाहिए थोड़ा सा भी बेबी स्टेप ले लो ये थोड़ा लोचे जैसा फुटप्रिंट थोड़ा सा ऊपर नीचे होना चाहिए ये तो एग्जैक्ट ही एकदम पैरेलल ऐसे किसी ने हाथ से बनाया है
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
टूटता है ना लाइक टूटता है
Timeline discrepancy
इसका ये
detected
बढ़िया
nearby.
है
Judging
BBB
by the shape of this indentation in the dirt, a
BBB
person of medium height and build
इसको
laid here
इनकम
for a
देखना
number
है
of hours, scanning for other details. Only additional signs of disturbance are a few marks in the dirt.
perception only additional signs of a
Agreed. Likely theory. Individual injured was unconscious, not dead, and walked away after awakening.
BBB
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Detected additional tracks belonging to the prophet of profitability.
प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी ये प्रॉफिट के ही क्या बोलते हैं फुटप्रिंट हाँ प्रॉफिट पकड़ी प्रॉफिट के फुटप्रिंट
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Additional tracks belonging to the prophet of
ये देखो इसके भी
profitability.
प्रॉफिट के ही है भाई साहब प्रॉफिट नहीं मारा है कुछ तो किया है मतलब मर्डर के साथ प्रॉफिट पकड़ी गई भाई प्रॉफिट ने कुछ तो कांड किया इसने भी बोल दिया कि प्रॉफिट कुछ घसीट के ले जा रहे थे
Welcome back.
कुछ तो गड़बड़
brother.
गया
I'm delighted to extend my desire to aid you, brother. How might I assist? Who said that? I'll be sure to give them a special seminar on not needlessly implicating the person who puts food on their table. It was a bundle of clothing, brother. Even productivity geniuses need to do laundry from time to time.
वो लॉन्ड्री करती ना तुझे कि वो लॉन्ड्री करने की जरूरत है रखे तो लॉन्ड्री ये सब काम करना like what he
Perhaps it wasn't clothes, after all. I had a visitor, yes. But as it turned out, some of my productivity techniques were too much for them. I had to drag them out by hand. But their peers came and collected them shortly thereafter. I'm sure whichever attendee it was is perfectly safe now. I'm pleased that you noticed. Excellent eye, brother. The compound they're treated with is my own invention, designed to unlock an individual's true productive potential when burned. I can't say any more, trade secrets, you know. None of my clients have ever complained, so I'm sure they're perfectly safe. Is there anything else? Oh, really? What did you find there? What did I dump? Clever work, Inspector. It seems even I can't slide my way out of the trap you've so intricately weaved. I admit it. I killed Helen by mistake. Helen changed her mind and wanted to attend one of my sessions. I, knowing the importance of the seminar, desired to truly galvanize her, though not to stop her heart. So when it came time, I chose to double Helen's dosage of productivity-enhancing herbs. I left her to meditate, and when I returned, she was dead. After that, I entered a less than coherent state. One of my disciples, it seems, witnessed me as I dragged Helen's body out into the wilderness. I'm no medical professional, but that certainly seemed the case.
इसने confess कर लिया भाई.
Usually my customers at least writhe or
इसने
mumble
words
after
में
a
ऐसा कुछ
session.
मिला था.
My productivity-enhancing herbs typically do induce sluggishness, but I suppose they must have been enough to do her in if her
इसने उसको drugs
constitution
दे
was
के
truly
body को
that
बाहर
weak.
ले गई.
Do you jest? The guests at the Colonial eat no shortage of strange things, but I think corpses are perhaps too strange. The creatures of the wilderness are much less picky. Besides, the hotel is ridiculously far. I couldn't have made it all that way without someone realizing I was dragging a corpse. What? Is this some kind of joke? You're an inspector. It's your job to arrest me, isn't it? No. You can't trick me. I finally discovered what's happening. You've been paid off. Someone else learned that I killed Helen and is going to use that information to blackmail me. You think I'm going to let this injustice happen? Ha! Tell the constable that I killed Helen. It's 1,000 times less miserable than whatever my enemies have planned. Even if you think I'm mad, it doesn't matter. None of this does. Yes, I think that's smart.
Confront the report to okay. इसको बताना पड़ेगा ना. Profit ही. भाई इंटरेस्टिंग होती जा रही है भाई इसकी कहानी के लिए.
Inspector, Ms. Leva earned that title, but not for the reasons you'd expect. The profit business has been profitable for the hotel, not so much for Ms. Leva's followers. So tell me, what did you find? Ms. Leva's techniques have no basis in modern science, but she makes bits hand over fist. If that makes her a fraud, then she's only as fraudulent as our corporate leaders. Does the Prophet strike you as a reasonable candidate for Helen's murderer? Of course, Inspector, you know that's what I meant. I'm asking you if you think Jasmine Leva is capable of murdering Helen.
Okay. Murderer को बचाने के लिए try कर रही है. कह नहीं सकते.
Arresting the Prophet could spell the end of her career. But that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Thank you for the update, Inspector. I'll include everything you've told me in my official report.
Why level up of school? मजा आ रहा है भाई ऐसे इन्वेस्टिगेशन ये सब करना.
What floor would you like to visit?
बहुत ही बढ़िया है यार इनका ये. सब मतलब कॉन्सेप्ट है एकदम. ये कहाँ जाना? वापिस अंदर ही. भाई ये आर्ट बुक सेक्सी है. और जाने का रास्ता कहाँ से? यार तो पहले सीढ़ियाँ हो गया. चिड़िया और जाने का रास्ता नहीं है. चिड़िया पर कहाँ से गए थे इसके पहले मुझे याद भी नहीं है. अरे ये रही इसीलिए ऊपर तो माले में गए नहीं. आते ही तो डायरेक्ट रूम में घुस जाते थे. ऊपर ये इसका पता है ही नहीं. सीढ़ियाँ भी एकदम कैसे एकदम कोने में बना कर रखी. जैसे कोई सीक्रेट पैसेज है. होटल ये सेक्सी बनाए हैं कुछ भी बोलो. क्या है? चलिए. वो इसकी पौड़ी यहाँ पे पड़ी. कपड़े पहना के रखा है इसके.
Inspector, not a moment too soon. I've just finished my autopsy report.
कर रहा है इसके ऊपर कुछ.
Ruth Bellamy was killed by plasma damage to the upper vertebrae, the occipital bone, and the cerebellum. If it's any consolation, her death was instantaneous and painless. I've also discovered a poisonous compound in Miss Bellamy's stomach lining ingested during her last meal. Toxic, but not enough to kill her. Spencer Woolrich complained of a stomach ailment around the same time period. I assumed he was being, Spencer. But now I'm not so sure. Oh, most certainly. Well, possibly they were trying to make her extremely uncomfortable, but I suppose killing her would also satisfy that criterion. The thought occurred to me. I tested this hypothesis by vacating the contents of my stomach and testing for the presence of the same toxin. Slightly elevated levels of mercury and an alarming amount of blue food coloring. But other than that, no. I'm certain it wasn't, as you put it, just the hotel food. I did science. My profession. The thought occurred to me. Slightly elevated level. Oh, most certainly. Well, possibly they were trying to make her extremely uncomfortable, but I suppose killing her would also satisfy that criterion. The thought occurred. Slightly elevated levels of mercury and an alarming amount of blue food coloring. But other than that, no. I'm certain it wasn't, as you put it, just the hotel food.
When we were talking, you called her Ruth Bellamy. Not Wellington, friend. इसका नाम चेंज कर दो.
Oh, how curious. I do believe you're right. I wonder if this has something to do with the autopsy process.
इसका नाम भी कैसे है?
She was Halcyon Helen up until the moment I brought her to the operating table. But as soon as I cut her open, I stopped thinking of her as Halcyon Helen. It's almost as if she stopped being an icon and became a human being.
Dr. Goodnight. क्या कहना है?
I had a feeling you'd understand. Inspector,
Dr. Goodnight. Okay, now I'm ready.
The Grand Colonial Front Desk warmly welcomes you, Inspector. It's a pleasure to see you again. How may I be of assistance to you, Inspector? Oh, my. Well, that is certainly odd and alarmingly unacceptable. Allow me to check the service records. Ah, yes. Not to worry, Inspector. It was indeed cleaned for you. Except for the evidence, which is all of Helen's stuff. I'd love to, Inspector, but I don't really have the authority. Moreover, the guests were promised exclusivity. If I let you up there, I'll never hear the end of it. Oh, how careless of me. Actually, that's not the only way I was careless. I just remembered you have VIP access rights. As a special guest of Slug. Let me just set you up with VIP guest floor access. Done. You can now come and go as you please. The Grand Colonial. How may I be of It's... Please, allow me to answer any curiosities you... Best to... Also, please inform... You can hardly walk 3 feet. Of interest to your investigation. Well, I suppose there is that one door we're not supposed to open. But I'm sorry, Inspector, I'm not authorized to grant you access to any staff sections of the hotel. You'll have to find a way in on your own. You can hardly walk 3 feet without... Who would be... Oh no, Inspector, sir. I live down there too. But that doesn't mean I plan to abide in the bowels of the Grand Colonial forever. The best thing about Sublight compared to other organizations is the potential for upward mobility. We bottom rungers get in, do our job, do it well, then move up and on. This is but one rung on the grand ladder of life. You see? Who would be interested in a staff only? Of course. You can hardly walk 3... Best. Also, please, if you're sure, I can always make time for a little... Her deal? Not making them. I'd laugh at my own comment, but everyone knows there's no bigger joke than the prophet of profitability herself. Didn't you hear Helen's interview? That woman is the definition of humbuggery. Anyone who gives her the time of day is a right fool. I mean, Spencer Woolrich has taken several of her productivity seminars, and look where it got him. Don't waste your time. If either he's in denial, or Spencer Woolrich. Bertie used to be Helen's beau, though. You know, I'm not... And everyone wanted to be around Helen. She could usually be seen alongside Bertie or Woolrich, for obvious reasons. That's all you required to... That's all... It's... Please, allow me to answer... If...
इससे पूछता चलो अभी हमें वीआईपी रूम का भी एक्सेस मिल गया इसको पटा लिया हमने
What floor would you like to visit? If you see Black Hole Birdie, be sure to get an autograph for me. Just joking. I've already got one.
Just a moment, please. Okay. इसमें तो कुछ नहीं है ये बाथरूम ही है दवा खाना नहीं है ये कलर है अच्छा ये
Timeline discrepant.
About time you arrived. I see you haven't
Spencer.
dressed the way I asked you to, but I suppose that was expecting too much of a non-industry lout. Expect a complaint to management. Now, unless you'd like to waste more of my time, I suggest we begin rehearsing. Ready? You've fallen right into my trap, Captain. Oh, don't bother to fight back. You cannot hope to stop me from installing philosophism as the system's reigning ideology. Well, that wasn't in the script, but you did at least convincingly sound like an idiot. Congratulations. Wait a moment. You're not wearing a bellhop's ID, which must mean you're not Owen's understudy. That man can't even be relied upon to find his own replacement. Oh, no, this is curious indeed. Who are you, and how did you get in here? You're here to investigate me? Oh, I assure you, I'm nothing special. Just an old crook with more money than time. That was a quote from The Retiree's Revenge, in which I played an ex-thief turned decrepit old man. But, of course, I'm certain you already recognized it. Now, what shall I sign first? Your weapon? Your wallet? Or perhaps something, a little more personal? Undergarment signatures have been popular of late, or so I've heard.
क्या बोल रहे हैं ये है कि बड़ा अंडरगारमेंट जैसे
I'd be delighted. Oh, damn. My pen's out of ink. I'll just get you a portrait of my face as a souvenir. I'm sure I have the prints around here. By the by, how did you get in here? The only non-staff individual cleared to enter guest rooms is supposed to be the inspector for Bellamy's murder. Oh. Oh! Hello. Terribly sorry, Inspector. I didn't realize it was you. Understand that I am beyond willing to comply with your search for the fiend that did Bellamy in. You know, now that I look at you, you're the perfect reflection of me, back when I starred in The Marauder's Bane, the absolute picture of justice. Ask me anything at all. I might even give you a straight answer. I'm sure you're joking. Perhaps I'm not in my prime, but you've no doubt seen the name Spencer Woolrich on many a serial advertisement throughout your travels. That can't be. You must just not remember. Or perhaps you only recognize my characters, not my name. Did you ever see me in The Masked Marketeer? The Busker of Byzantium? What about episodes 13 and 190 of Princess of Hephaestus? And who could forget From Halcyon with Love? I was great in that movie. Even if I was starring beside a 2-ton bucket of bolts and a woman with no talent. Yes, that would be Burbage 3001.
Yeah,
sure you've heard the clomping around. It's over in the next room. It's hard for me to believe that a mechanical actor isn't some kind of joke played on us all by Odeon's director. Indeed. The agonizing bowel pain was most undignifying. While I've certainly had no shortage of inadequate hotel meals, this was most explicitly pronounced. I suspect poison. And who would be most likely to poison me but Chef Anwar? Oh, we've clashed almost non-stop about his slop preparation. He must have tainted my meal in retaliation. How alarming! Whoever targeted her was certainly targeting me. I can only thank my ironclad constitution that I'm standing here before you. Is that a jibe? Could you imagine the tabloid headlines? Spencer Woolrich, Aetherwave star, spotted in gastronomic distress. Oh, unseemly hardly describes the half of it. None that I can think of. I treat all hotel staff equally, and with the minimum level of respect that they deserve. None that I can... Is that a... How alarming! Oh, that's very good to know. Perhaps the poisoner simply meant to incapacitate us both, disrupt the product launch. I couldn't say, Inspector. I'm merely an actor. Very well, then. Certainly. But one quick question before we begin, if I may. How was it that Bellamy met her end? Why, I'm merely worried for my own sake. Perhaps whoever came after her could come after me next. But if you don't want to tell me, I understand. Whatever happened, I hope poor Bellamy didn't suffer. Oh, come now, Inspector. What do you take me for? I'm an old man. I neither have the time nor the willpower to kill people for fun. Besides, I have my reputation to think of. Bellamy has been my co-star throughout the autumn of my career. I should like to think I knew her. In fact, I cannot name a single role in the last 10 years that did not involve her in some way, unless you count the uncredited silent shopkeep on Melissa's meteoroids. I'm not too proud to admit it. I couldn't get work on my own. Whether or not I wanted to accept it, Bellamy had captured the eye of the colony. People kept talking about the charisma we had on screen, but I felt more chemistry with certain teacup canids than with her. As you may have been able to conclude, I wasn't terribly enamored with Bellamy, but that doesn't mean I'd kill her. I was meditating, of course. That's how I get into character. All actors have their methods, and this has been mine ever since I met that wonderful prophet of profitability. She taught me it for my role in The Unemployed Cometh. I had to lie face down on artificially heated pavement. The director wanted our suffering to be convincing. Needless to say, being able to leave my body helped to mitigate the pain, both during the 8-hour shoot and with the second-degree burns afterwards. I owe that woman much. Yeah, actually, only since I've been at the Colonial. The Unemployed Cometh was shot on site. That makes it, a few weeks. I cannot recommend her services enough. If you haven't been to see her yet, you really should. Respectfully, Inspector, it is rather counterproductive to commune with others while meditating. Respectfully, Inspector, it is rather... Yeah, actually, only since I've been at the Colonial. I cannot recommend her... All act. She taught me it. Needless to say, I'll answer Bellamy as... In fact, I cannot name a single role in the last 10 years that did not involve her in some way, unless you count the uncredited silent shopkeep. Oh, it wasn't. And don't think I haven't picked up on your tone. Resenting Bellamy is one thing, but... Oh, come now, Inspector, what do you take me for? I'm an old man. Bellamy. In fact, I'll ask you this. If you'd been the star of cinema for years, then suddenly found yourself scrounging for bit parts while a younger person stole the limelight, how would you feel? In short, the two of us weren't close. But that's not to say my dislike of her was so extreme that I tried to do anything drastic. Resenting Bellamy is one thing, but killing her is another completely. It's also beneath me. Bellamy has been my In fact, in short, resenting Bellamy is one thing. I suppose that is... Oh, must I relive that ghastly event again? My intestines still have yet to fully recover. None that I... Very well, then.
बकवास कर लिया बस। तो सठिया गए हैं बस।
What floor would you like to visit? Next stop.
कहाँ पे जाना है मुझे? बाहर निकलो।
What floor would you like?
मुझे लगा स्वीट में आना होगा। ऑफिस अंदर। आई थिंक वो डॉक्टर गुड नाइट से बात करना। कुछ हाँ बराबर बराबर पॉइजन की बात हुई ना खाने पीने की। हाँ किचन में पूछताछ करने पड़ेगी शेफ से। इतना गंदा किचन है देखो सर नीचे सब टूटा फूटा है। इतनी बड़ी होटल इसमें से ये गंदा किचन है। वेट ना सोरे के लिए गाना खाना सोरे के लिए खाना बना तो क्या है यार।
Yes? Are you here for the double rack of smoked sprat? Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but you'll have to wait. Oh, don't give me that look. Let me see if I can pencil you in for later. Actually, what am I saying? I can't do that. I'm booked for the next month. You'll have to make a reservation. Crime or no crime, I must keep my head on my work. One does not simply become the head chef in all of Eridanos by fretting over irrelevant happenings. Well, it didn't happen in my kitchen. Who exactly are you anyhow? What is it you want? Oh, you're the inspector they told me would be coming by. Now I feel like a buffoon.
Buffoon.
Yes, you can ask me what you like. Though, I don't know how much help a chef can be. Of course I did. I would never allow anyone else to touch the meals of so important a guest. Well, yes, I'm positive. Why? How? Oh, fine. There may have been times I left Helen's meal unsupervised. Spencer Woolrich and Bellhop Owens were underfoot in the kitchen as I was preparing Helen's meal. Either one of them could have tampered with the food when I was fetching ingredients.
दोनों का नाम लिया इसमें ये एली पहले
Mr. Woolrich often finds the hotel's meals wanting. He seems to enjoy complaining in person. While I could appreciate someone with a discerning palate for once, I believe that Mr. Woolrich simply enjoys the attention he gets from us. Though don't tell him I said as much. If you wish to speak with him, Mr. Woolrich can most likely be found in his suite on the
Chef
VIP
Anwar.
guest floor. He's usually
Anwar
there
now
if
is
he's not
what
poking
have
around here. Yes, but not specifically. Owens often procures exotic ingredients from the creatures at the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve. Our guests can be rather particular. Let's not talk about the incident with the Raptidon pheromone glands. It's always hard to say when Owens might be back. If I were you, I'd make a trek to the reserve myself. Otherwise, who knows how long you'll have to wait. Well, it's a breach of professionalism, of course. Why else would I worry about it? What? Truly? That's an alarming business oversight. Instead of volatile chemicals, the corporations should put barbiturates in everything. Everyone likes barbiturates. But I don't believe that was a risk with Helen's meal. I was, up to something else. I may have taken some time to engage in a teensy bit of recreational drinking, and consequently, I may have been somewhat less than coherent after preparing Helen's meal. I understand your reluctance, but... Oh, I just remembered. The kitchen security camera. It'll prove I'm telling the truth about everything.
Wow.
Constable
Don't
Keene
be
has
villainy,
access to the
boss,
security
camera.
footage in her office at the spaceport. If you visit her, you can figure out what truly happened with Helen's meal. I understand. Constable Keene... Well, it's a breach of professionalism, of course. Why else would... No, I don't think that's the case. Sorry to disappoint you. Mr. Wool... While I could have... If you wish to speak with... Yeah, let's... It's always hard to... Well... What? But I don't believe... I may have taken some time to engage in... Constable Keene... Well... No. I may... Yeah, let's... It's always hard to... Mr... While I... If you wish to speak... Thank you...
चलो इसने कैमरा के बारे में बोल दी। हाँ ये तो हमारे दिमाग में नहीं है कैमरा के बारे। कैमरास तो चेक करने नहीं किसी ने। टाइम जैसे भी नहीं और बाद में करेंगे लेटेस्ट इसके ऊपर हो गई स्ट्रीम तो बाद में कंटिन्यू करेंगे गेम तो अब तक तो बढ़िया चल रहा है Okay, so that's it for today, guys. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. And make sure to follow me on Instagram too. See you in the next stream. Till then, Khatam Tata. Bye bye. Peace out.